Hello there! You're tuning in to your learning station, DepEd B 88.8 RadyoKasyon. And welcome to another episode of English Language Essentials, your guide to English language learning on air. This is Teacher Nell, your teacher broadcaster at your service. Come and join me as we explore and discover the world of English 9. Now go grab your pen, paper, and self-learning module as we start our journey to the world of English. Can you still recall your lessons on modals in the previous level? Well, today, learning buddies, we'll deal with modals: prohibition, obligation, and permission. Firstly, I want you to analyze the following sentences. Number 1. You should not forget to wear your face mask. Number 2. You must follow the health protocols set by the higher authorities. And number 3. Can I borrow the thermal scanner? What have you observed in the sentences? What is the idea being expressed by the speaker in sentence 1? That's correct. The speaker expresses prohibition. What words are used by the speaker to express prohibition? That's right, should not. How about in the second sentence? You're right. The speaker expresses obligation through the use of word must. Lastly, in the third sentence, yes, it is expressing permission. By what expression? If your answer is can, you got it right. Now, what do you call those words? Should not, must, and can? That's right, modals. What are modals? Modals or modal verbs are very important in English. We use them to express something that can probably, certainly, or possibly happen. Modal verbs help when speaking about ability, making requests or offers, asking permission, and more. In this lesson, you will learn the skills in learning and using modals which express prohibition, obligation, and permission. To start this, please turn your module to page 6. Let's begin with prohibition. Prohibition means something that is being prohibited or not being allowed. Example of modals expressing prohibition are cannot or can't, must not or mustn't, should not or shouldn't. Please note that the ones with apostrophe are called contracted forms. They have the same meaning with the ones without an apostrophe. Now let's take a look at these examples. Number 1. You can't go into that restaurant without a tie. Number 2. You mustn't use your phone in class. What is the modal verb in the first sentence? That's correct, cannot or can't. How about in the second sentence? If you answered mustn't or must not, you got it right. When do you think we use can't or mustn't in expressing prohibition? Can't usually gives the idea of something that is against the rules. Try to look at the first sentence. You can't go into that restaurant without a tie. It is part of the restaurant's rules that one has to enter it with a tie. Therefore, failure to do such is prohibited. Mustn't usually means that it is the speaker who is setting the rule. Look at the second sentence. You must not use your phone in class. In this example, the teacher is the one setting the classroom rules. Therefore, we use mustn't to express prohibition set by him. Are these things understood? All right. Now let's proceed to obligation. Obligation means something you must do because of a law, rule, promise, and morality. Example of modals expressing obligation are must, have to or don't have to, ought to, should. Example, number 1, I must call my parents. Number 2, I have to work on my assignments. Number 3, she ought to submit her projects on time. And number 4, you should see the doctor. The modals must and have to express necessity and firm obligation respectively. The must in the first sentence expresses necessity to call one's parents, while the have to in the second one expresses one's obligation to work on and finish assignments. The ought to in the third example expresses one's moral obligation to submit projects on time, while the should in the last example expresses strong suggestion for one to see a doctor and get checked up. In certain cases, the modal should may also be used to express obligation. Try to look at this example. He should fix his bed every morning. In this example, the modal should expresses an obligation for one to fix his bed every morning. Are we clear on this? Very good! Finally, we go to permission. Permission is the right or ability to do something that is given by someone who has the power to decide if it will be allowed or permitted. The modals used for permission are can, could, might, and may. Examples. Number 1, can I borrow a pen? Number 2, could I open the window? Number 3, might I suggest an idea? And number 4, may I use your phone, please? All these examples are expressing permission. A person may ask them to the person who has the power to decide. The person asked may either allow or disallow him. Crystal clear? Great! Now let's practice. Analyze the following sentences and choose the best modals that would complete them. Let's start. Number 1. You blank stop when the traffic lights turn red. Letter A, can. Letter B, must. Letter C, may. And letter D, might. Again, you blank stop when the traffic lights turn red. Letter A, can. Letter B, must. Letter C, may. Or letter D, might. What is your answer? That's correct. The answer is letter B, must. How about in the second example? Number 2. Blank I go to the comfort room. Letter A, can. Letter B, must. Letter C, may. And letter D, might. Again, blank I go to the comfort room. Letter A, can. Letter B, must. Letter C, may. And letter D, might. What should be our modal here? That's right! The answer is letter C, may. Let's proceed to the third sentence. Students blank write anything on the module. Letter A, can't. Letter B, mustn't. Letter C, may not. Or letter D, could not. Again, students blank write anything on the module. Letter A, can't. Letter B, mustn't. Letter C, may not. or letter D, could not. What modal best completes this sentence? That's great! The answer is letter B, mustn't. Now you're good to go for another learning practice. Please turn your modules to page 7 and work on the activities 4 and 5. After completing these tasks, please proceed to page 12 and answer the activity 8 under assessment. Read the instructions carefully as they are part of the activities. That's all for today's learning adventure. Be with us on our next episode of English Language Essentials, your guide to English language learning on air. Only here at DepEd B 88.8 RadyoKasyon, where we deliver quality instruction right at the comfort of your homes. This is Teacher Nell, your teacher broadcaster, saying, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. God bless and stay safe. Happy learning!